G'day and welcome to week 4 or episode 4 of the weekly wrap, all things EV news. So in Australia we have had another massive week in the world of EVs, so let's get straight into it. So hopefully you guys like the new background that I've got. Essentially I've decided to start putting some of the logos here of some of the manufacturers or some of the companies that are going to be featured in this week's episode. So let me know what you guys think. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first things first, XPeng. You guys know, you guys are familiar. It's been all over the media. We now can finally see one in the flesh, in person. So I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I did get an email and it essentially took me through to this Instagram picture or this link. And basically it's saying XPeng G6 is ready for you to see in the Southern Classic Group dealership. So it'll be there over this weekend. And impressive range, 570 kilometers as you can see there, 280 kilowatts or charging capacity up to 280 kilowatts. And yeah, you can see it yourself in person. Corrimal Street in Wollongong, so it's down south of Sydney it's probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours south of Sydney. So if you guys want to see it in person, then that's the place to be. And next thing, so we have best-selling electric cars in Australia during the first half of 2024. You can see Tesla absolutely dominates first and second position. So I grabbed the stats here from drive.com.au. They did also split it out to the first quarter and the second quarter, which also means essentially the first half of the year. And you can see the numbers are so high compared to BYD. Now obviously production differences and everything, price drops, and there's a whole lot of things that kind of contribute to that, but overall first half you can see that they've totally killed those numbers, and it's also totally driven consumer confidence and driven up the share price of Tesla as well over the past week. So there you have it, Tesla dominating the first and second position, then BYD, which is amazing to see because their numbers are also fairly similar to each other in terms of the Seal versus the Atto 3, and they take a clear third and fourth position, second in terms of brand. And then you'll see MG4 and then another BYD, then BMW. So BMW seems to be doing fairly well as well. And then further down you've got the EV6, the EX30, which essentially just started a couple of months ago. Then Polestar 2 and Hyundai, Volvo, MG. So it's good to see a whole variation of there, but clearly dominating at the top. You've still got Tesla up there along with BYD. Let me know what you guys think. Are the stats going to persuade you guys to buy one car over the other, or have you bought one recently? What have you bought? Happy to have the discussion, but let's keep on moving. So Tesla Model 3 in Quicksilver. So you guys know everything about this car. Basically over the past 24 hours they have announced that the car will now be available in the Quicksilver colour, which you can see there. Looks absolutely amazing. So I'm in New South Wales. I've taken 3 screenshots basically of all of the 3 models. So you can see the left one there is the rear wheel drive, the middle one there is the long range, and then the right one is the performance all-wheel drive. Drive away prices in New South Wales, private buying, on the bottom of each of the screenshots. So just over $62,500, just over $73,000, and just under $90,000. And you can see delivery for the Quicksilver colours. At earliest it seems like it's going to be October. It says they're October to November, and then on the performance variant it is October to December. So exciting times. Now when you think about it, we've only just started to enter into July, so realistically it's about 3 months away. Next quarter essentially is when we should be seeing the Quicksilver ones on our roads, at least in Australia. So very, very exciting. Audi A6 e-tron. So it's going to be the 2025 model. It's been spied, and supposedly it's going to offer the best class EV range. So Audi's, I'll read it out here based on my notes. Audi's global product marketing executive Philippe Bornert said the key to the next generation A6 e-tron is that it's based off the same of the PPE architecture, same as the Q6 e-tron SUV. Now PPE stands for the Premium Platform Electric, so PPE architecture, and it's about the A6 e-tron is set to have a longer range than the current class benchmark, which is the Volkswagen ID7, which we also don't have here at the moment. But the Volkswagen ID7 is on sale in Europe today, and it offers a WLTP verified range of up to 700 kilometers. So it's not confirmed, but it could potentially overtake even the Mercedes-Benz EQS, which has about 727 kilometers. With a range closing towards 800 kilometers. So it will have 800 volt architecture, allowing fast charging up to 270 kilowatts, which is fantastic. But the thing that excites me more than the A6 e-tron is when they build the A6, that is usually the base model. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with the RS6, even the S6. That's going to be the exciting ones. So watch your space. I'll keep you guys posted. Next thing, not necessarily specific to a certain brand of EV or anything, but just figured it's a new financial year. I saw an article on this, so I figured I'd pull it here for you guys to be aware of. ATO has new tax breaks for electric vehicle owners. I'm not going to go through in detail over here, but there's an example on there, so pause the video there if you want to see it, or if you guys want it in a bit more detail. But there is a new tax break. That's essentially the summary. Alright, GMW Ora, as if it wasn't already one of the cheapest EVs that you could get in Australia, they've now dropped the price even more. So I started seeing this sponsored Facebook ad, which you can see on the left, and then I've gone into the website and I've screenshotted essentially all 4 variants that you can get, along with the price savings that you can see. So basically the Ora standard range from $35,990, saving of $4,000. So it used to be just under $40,000, now it's $35,990. What a bargain. And then the extended range at $38,990. You don't get any discounts of the Ultra, but at $43,990 you'd be silly not to pay an extra $1,000 to get front seating with heating and ventilation, and potentially some extra safety features and panoramic sunroof as well in the GT model. So yeah, I mean, you save $2,000 there, but it's still better than just paying $1,000 less to get the Ultra. The $1,000 difference, in my eyes, it's worth it, especially to have ventilated seats. I mean, you know, if Tesla offered even for $2,000 to have ventilated seats, I'd totally take it. But yeah, so the cheaper car now got even cheaper. So there you have it, GMW Ora. Alright, Polestar's view on battery health. So there was a news article essentially saying that battery health transparency is the key to consumer confidence, especially in the second-hand or the used car market. Very keen to hear from you guys. What do you guys actually think? Is it important to you guys to know the battery health or the battery degradation of a used EV? If you are watching this video and you have bought a used EV or you're considering buying one, I'd love to hear from you guys to see how true this is. For me personally, after I guess being more of an EV enthusiast over the past 12 to 18 months, I feel like I would absolutely agree with this point, and I would really want to have some form of battery indicator, or at least an OBD dongle or something to enable me to check battery health before purchasing the car. Or it should form part of I guess a PPI, pre-purchase vehicle inspection. So yeah. Alright, Genesis G80 facelift. What a beautiful and luxurious looking car. So facelift is coming. It's going to have a bigger battery, it's going to have a longer body, longer wheelbase, which essentially means it looks like a luxury high car limousine type car. So this was revealed at the 2024 Busan International Mobility Show in South Korea. It is set to arrive in Australia in the 3rd quarter, so between July to September 2024, after the facelifted petrol G80's planned July arrival. So basically we are expecting the petrol G80 anytime this month, and then within the next 2 months we should be able to see the EV version landing into Australia. Now expect this to cost more than the previous one, which was already at a whopping $144,000 plus on-road costs. So by the time you're driving it away, it's probably borderline in towards a $160,000 mark. Battery size has also increased, so from 87.2 kilowatt hours to 95.4, and what you see on the bottom left there is basically two 27-inch wide OLED display with car connected services. So, and it looks like there's potential seat adjustments there, maybe massaging as well. Either way, I would hope that the luxury also extends to the driver, and it doesn't only I guess take effect for the people in the rear, because as a person who loves cars, I'd probably be the person driving and I'd want to enjoy the car just as much as the people in the rear. But that's the G80. Leapmotor C16 SUV. Now this is something you guys may not have heard of or may not have seen much in the media, but I dare say this is one of the other China brands that are coming into Australia or entering the Australian market over the next year, and it is absolutely something that we will see a lot more of. And look at that color. It is a beautiful color. For the ones that love cars, Japanese cars, car enthusiasts, that is literally almost like a midnight purple color. Anyways, so let's go straight to the detail. So 2025 Leapmotor C16 family SUV revealed. It is 3-row, large SUV. It could potentially sit above the C10 mid-size SUV, which is already confirmed as part of the Australian lineup when we get that later this year. This is a part of the Stellantis brand, so it's part of the Chinese EV brand, and they are going to potentially come here, and they're going to bring a cut price city car and a Tesla Model Y rival towards the end of the year. So this one in particular, screen size 14.6 inch floating effect infotainment, small digital cluster that you can see there. The most expensive versions, which is a 6-seater, comes with tri-zone climate control, heated ventilated seats for the first and second row, powerful 21 speaker stereo system that combines with a 15.6 inch rear entertainment screen. And that's probably the screens that kind of drop down in the middle so that all the second and third row passengers can see. Now hybrids, this car will come as a hybrid, but the top spec will also be a electric one. So hybrid for the lower end models, top spec will be EV only. Now the EV one is a single rear e-motor producing 215 kilowatts and 360 newton meters of torque. So it's not going to be anything crazy quick. It's not going to be all-wheel drive, unfortunately. But price-wise, it seems like it's going to be fairly cheap. Based on initial conversions, the base price entry is going to be about $30,000, $30-something. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the price is going to end up being. And in terms of the battery size, so 67.7 kilowatt hours of battery size. It's a LFP, so lithium iron phosphate, and supposedly about 520 kilometers range. So yeah, and they're saying that the EV version, even though it's single motor, 6.4 seconds to 100. So look, I think the stats seem quite promising. Disappointing that it's not all-wheel drive. I personally love all-wheel drive for the traction and just getting off the line. But yeah, entry level from about $31,300 is what I've got here, and the electric version starts from $32,500. That's based on current conversion prices. So either way, that kind of gives you the idea, like it's going to be a cheap car. I also do hope from a safety side of things, it really does stack up, because Australians really do care about their safety. All right, let's move on. Skoda Elroq. So there was a teaser campaign. It's continued. There are more teaser images. It's going to be a dedicated electric mid-size SUV. I think, in terms of shape, this is probably something that's say Audi Q3 to Q5 size. It's going to be bigger than a Volkswagen Golf, small SUV. Probably more like around BYD Atto size, probably similar to the Model Y as well. Something along the lines of that. Now, it's going to be quite confusing in terms of how their naming convention for their variants. They've got a 50, 60, 85 and 85X. Each of the powertrains essentially have a bigger power pack, and then they have bigger motors. So the 50, for instance, has 55 kilowatt hour battery with 125 kilowatts of power. The 60 has 63 kilowatt hours battery with 150 kilowatt motor. 85 and has an 82 kilowatt hour battery with 210 kilowatts. And the top spec 85X has an 82 kilowatt hour battery, 220 kilowatts of dual motor powertrain. Max WLTP 560 kilometers. No confirmation for Australia yet, so watch this space. If it does come, I'll keep you guys posted. Ferrari EV. Now, whether or not this is a Ferrari or not, there's no confirmation. However, based on this photo from Direct Photography, seems like a lot of the rumors are saying this is. Now, the body itself is from the Maserati Levante, so that's unchanged. And at that time, Ferrari did develop that through with Maserati as a part of the ownership back then. You can see the fake exhaust pipes or fake tailpipes down the bottom right of the picture. The body is unchanged, as I said, and you can see the big warning with the triangle with the electricity icon, just to note that it is high power. So yeah, either way, this was spotted in Maranello, which is pretty much the home base of Ferrari in Italy, and supposedly it's going to be unveiling due sometime within the next 18 months. And it was potentially, or the Ferrari's first EV was potentially earmarked to launch in late 2025, but all signs are now pointing to 2026. So right now we're midway through 2024, so realistically it could be about 18 months away. But look, it's exciting. Whether it's a Ferrari or a Maserati, either way, I think it's got a pretty cool shape. So yeah, it'd be something really exciting to see when it lands on our shores. Alright, Nyobolt EV Sportscar. So it says here, sports car prototype takes ultra-fast charging out of the lab onto the road. So supposedly, you can charge 10 to 80% in just under 5 minutes. So that's more than twice the speed of fastest charging vehicles today. And it also says that it will do it without the battery degradation that's usually associated with lithium-ion batteries. And they're also saying that longer lasting performance batteries are over 600,000 miles. Now for you Australians, that equates to 965,606.4 kilometers. So yeah, 965,000 kilometers. That's a long range. Also has said that Nyobolt is already in conversations with further 8 vehicle OEMs about adopting its technology. So it'll be very interesting to see which manufacturers do end up adopting this, and if this actually comes to fruition, to actually prove that, you know, battery degradation does pretty much not exist, and it can last up to 965,000 kilometers. Now, the one thing that strikes me odd was, if you look at this picture, you'll come to realize that is a Lotus. Do you remember what else also was a Lotus as one of the first original prototypes? If you didn't guess it, the Tesla Roadster. That was also based off a Lotus. So very odd. I presume they're all doing that because it's a super lightweight car, and it's got pretty much a really good power to weight ratio, very good balance, very good chassis. It's low to the ground, it's lightweight, so that's potentially why, I'm guessing. But yeah, it was just very odd that it was also a Lotus. Alright, Rivian, back in the news again. Unfortunately for Rivian, it's always bad press, or at least recently. So there, you may have seen that video circulating on the internet. Basically, it was at Amazon distribution center. The cars were plugged in. It lit one car up on fire, and it continued to light a couple others on fire. You'll see that on the right there. That's his statement. And it says here, the company notes no injuries occurred as a result of the fire, and that the cause of the thermal event is yet to be determined. But they are aware of it, so yeah. A couple of things to point out based on the evidence they're saying there. Car was plugged in and not charging when the incident occurred. So some are saying that it's a fault from the cable or from the charging from the charger. Some are saying it's not. It's always speculation. So until we hear something official, you know, everything's up in the air. But that's the official statement that you guys can see there, and hopefully Rivian gets out of the bad press sometime soon. Okay, and let's move on to the next one. So BYD YangWang U9. So for the ones that have been following, U9 is the ultimate electric supercar from China. It's got so much power in there. Quad motor, 1,287 horsepower, which equates to 946 kilowatt. So quad motor, supposedly 0 to 100 in 2.3 seconds, which is blisteringly quick. They're saying that deliveries for this specific vehicle will start in China this summer, where it retails for 1.68 million RMB, which is approximately 231,000 Australian dollars. That is a lot of money, but also it's probably a lot of car as well, seeing what BYD has been doing for all of their cars. Now, for context, the ones that aren't too sure why this post is here, basically Nürburgring Nordschleife is a famous racetrack in Germany. It is called the Green Hell. It pretty much is a racetrack that takes on average 7 minutes for the best of the best cars to even drive around. Now, 3 of the road legal cars that have essentially gone through, and the time that the BYD YangWang U9 is trying to chase, is the Rimac Nevera. You can see there, 2023, 7 minutes 5 seconds, 0.298. And then you've got the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, and then a Tesla Model S Plaid with track pack. So there are no confirmed times yet, but it has clearly been going extremely quick. If you can see, those brakes almost light up like they are on fire. And it's not only the fronts, you can see the backs light up as well. So it'd be very interesting to see. I'll keep you guys posted if I find the official time. Xiaomi SU7. Xiaomi is a brand that a lot of people have come to know over the past couple of years, especially with things like air purifiers, little home appliances, gadgets, and so forth. They've got a car, and even though it's only just started in over the past couple of months, I think in April or May, you can see here that they've already surpassed 10,000 units for June 2024, which is a clearly big jump. And they're saying that they've got really ambitious goals. They're saying they want to deliver 100,000 SU7 EVs by the end of 2024 with a stretch goal of $120,000. So it seems like in the relatively short time that they've essentially come into the market, they've done a really good job adjusting to the strong demand and being able to already smash out 10,000. They should be well on track to hit their stretch goal, assuming the demand is there for the remainder of the year and continuing past that point. So yeah, I think it looks like a really cool car. I do think that the front headlights literally have been taken off a McLaren 720S. Keen to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Alright, Tesla has a new patent. Tesla patents auto sanitization system for its robotaxi cars. So I won't read through absolutely everything there. You guys can pause the video and read it there. But basically, we all know Tesla wants to solve the autonomous driving component of our everyday lives. And with autonomous driving, they also have a robotaxi network they're looking at building and creating as a part of this. And so they've got a patent for auto sanitization so that the car can essentially stay clean. That's really it. So they haven't solved the full self-driving and everything yet, but starting to look at other areas as well. So this is probably one of the smaller problems that they are trying to just jump ahead and tackle before they continue to solve the rest of the full self-driving. All right, other social media updates. So as it's a new financial year, ACT, or everyone in Canberra, ACT area, has ceased free rego to ZEVs, which is zero emission vehicles. So they'll continue to get benefits, they'll get a discount, but it's not going to be free anymore. So unfortunately, if you live in the ACT and you've got a ZEV car, then at least you still get a discount. Think of us in the other states. And then 2 news articles or 2 news post updates from Tesla. So drive.com.au actually had an interview with one of the repairers talking about Teslas and talking about repair costs and trying to understand how expensive it is. A lot of myth debunking in that video. I highly recommend you guys watch it. Basically, the short version is there are stuff that is expensive, there are stuff that is absolutely cheap, and even cheaper than a lot of European cars as well. So, you know, when you say Teslas are expensive to repair, I think, you know, you got to take that with a grain of salt. Some parts will absolutely be expensive. There should be some parts that are also cheaper as well. So watch that video and stay educated. And this really exciting post, this last post, new update for Tesla. So again, it's going to feel like a new car. YouTube Music, Amazon Music, parental control. Parental control is such a big win. To be able to set maximum speed, acceleration limits, turn on safety features, turn on like a night curfew mode, to take care of your kids or to be aware of what's happening, that is absolutely amazing. And then I won't go through the rest of those. You can pause the screen there if you want, but those features like that, to just have it come up randomly all of a sudden. Things like that essentially help make the car always feel like it's always new. There's new features always coming. You know, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, right now it's only got Spotify, radio, and Tidal. So now I've got YouTube Music coming, got Amazon Music coming. What's next? What's next? How exciting. Anyways, I'll keep you guys posted when I hear more about that or when they start to come. And yeah, that essentially takes us to the end. So again, thank you very much if you guys have stayed tuned in for the entire time. I totally appreciate it. We are on our road to 1,000 subscribers. We've got so much more content planned for you guys. I've got a backlog of a couple of cars that I've actually been reviewing. Stay tuned for those. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you soon in the next one.